Hi betting experts, on Saturday April the 20th, an 8-race extravaganza on ITV on Saturday. The best of the action from Newbury, a high quality flat card where the ground is drying out all the time. Going to be pretty much good to soft, I'd have thought, by the time they jump off. And it's a similar story in Scotland at Ayr for their big meeting of the year, the Scottish National meeting. It was soft, heavy in places early in the week, but I think it's going to be pretty much good to soft, perfect jumping ground. We start off with our betting expert Daily Nap, sponsored by Bet365. Goes in the 225, the Scottish champion hurdle, a limited handicap, a grade 2, over 2 miles, and I think Favour and Fortune is extremely well treated into his first handicap here if he can jump more fluently. Now, he was pitched in deep in the Supreme Novice Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival last time out. If you watch that run back, he almost fell at the first and he never really jumped one hurdle properly afterwards. It obviously knocked him out of his stride, but he did tank into contention briefly before the home turn, before getting tired. Basically, he ran really well, and it's certainly done his opening handicap mark no harm at all. He's a strong traveller with a turn of foot. There's loads more improvements to come from him over hurdles. If he can jump fluently, I'm confident he'll go very close under the excellent Tom Cannon. Our betting expert value angle selection, sponsored by Bet365, goes in the 150 at Ayr, the novice champion handicap chase over 3 miles, and this looks a really good bit of placing by Harry Fry with Deeper Blue. Now, Harry, by his own admission, had a very disappointing winter. I don't think a lot of his horses handled deep ground. They didn't have that many runners, considering he's got a lot of nice horses. But Deeper Blue's been running with credit since going over fences, looking ahead of his mark on a few occasions without really getting things done at the business end. And I think he's just the sort, drying spring ground round Ayr, sharp left-handed. I think it will definitely suit him. He's a smooth traveller with just lacking that gear change. So I think Johnny Burke might be a bit more positive here over 3 miles, and the yard had 2 winners at that Cheltenham meeting in the week to encourage that they're now back firing on all cylinders. The remaining 6 races on ITV on Saturday, starting at Newbury, the 130, the John Porter, a Group 3 over a mile 4. Well, Arrest's got plenty in hand on the figures here. He's won 4 of his 9 career starts so far. He's got a turn of foot, softish ground, no bother at all. He's got plenty of speed, and Kieran Schumacher knows him well. He'll be looking to swoop late. The one thing I will say about the early days of the flat season, there's been plenty of shocks. I'd say very small stakes are a good idea. You're not quite sure what you're playing into fitness-wise, and maybe some of the top Newmarket yards are a little bit behind where they'd like to be. The 205 at Newbury, the Fred Darling, a Group 3 for fillies over 7 furlongs. Well, Relief Rally thrived last season for William Haggis, showing a terrific attitude to win 4 of her 5 starts. She does go up to 7 furlongs for the first time on this reappearance, but she's back at Newbury where she's won before. I would imagine she'll be fit after 240 days off. She's really likeable, and her attitude under pressure will always be a positive. The 240 at Newbury, the Greenham Stakes, a Group 3 for Colts and Geldings over 7 furlongs. 3-year-olds only. Well, Army Ethos represents a yard that usually gets going early. Archie Watson, he's booked Holly Doyle. They're a formidable duo in these early months of the turf season, and this one's proven fitness from the all-weather could count for plenty in this valuable prize. I suspect he'll get a positive ride from Holly and could take plenty of passing if able to dominate these rivals from the stalls. Back up to Ayr for the 3 o'clock, a handicap hurdle over an extended 3 miles. Well, Larchmont Lass has long been in the notebook when going up in trip to 3 miles. I think, by the way, she is going to be a cracking chaser next season. There's loads more to come. She's only run 4 times over hurdles. Last time out in Newbury, she ended up finishing 4th of 17, and that was as near as she got through the whole race. She was given an awful lot to do, but ran on pretty strongly. I'm sure 3 miles will see her in a better light, and she is relatively fresh. Back to Newbury for the 3:15, the Spring Cup over a mile. Well, this is wide open. I think it's at least 7 or 8 to 1 the field for me. The one I thought was overpriced was Tawada, and Ed Walker is absolutely flying. Talking about yards being in form, he's had 5 winners in the last fortnight. Had a good double at the Craven meeting earlier in the week. This one's unexposed, won a couple of times last season, went off last back end, which has helped his handicap mark this time around. He's only run 5 times on the turf, but with the yard going so well, I think it's interesting that Ed has booked Kieran Schumacher, and I think Tawada is handicapped to go close with any luck in running. And finally, the 3:35, the big betting race of the afternoon, the Grand National, the Scottish Grand National, a handicap chase over 4 miles. They're going to go a right gallop. I like My Silver Lining. He's done so many turns this season. He's a smooth travelling sound jumper, a really good advert for Emma Lavelle, given it running every single time, this mare. She's 4 from 16 over fences so far. James Best knows her really well, and I think the fact that she'll be able to travel strongly on this drying spring ground will be a big plus, and I don't think there's any doubt she'll see out this 4-mile trip. Best of luck with all 8 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts, and please remember to like and comment on all of our YouTube videos.